Okay, we can get up here if we want to.
Are you serious? As the princess rends flesh from bone, your limp fingers can no longer hold the blade. It slips from your hand, your one last means of defense lying useless beside you in a pool of your cooling blood. I suppose you just lacked the will to fight back.
This is the end, isn't it?
It's just a one of many.
I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2, The Beast. Okay, yeah, we definitely haven't been on this route yet.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her. A warning. She will...
I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered.
She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell.
That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously.
Maybe.
Okay, let's proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time, wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Let's take the blade for now.
You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Okay, into the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager.
What, to eat
You
me?
carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness.
Yeah, she seems to be hidden away there. I don't like that.
The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere.
I mean, I see her right there with a little tail there. Yep.
You see
And there
only
she
a
goes.
flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her. Remember, she's just a princess.
Not just any princess.
She is certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear
Hi there.
between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you. And a little splinter clutched in trembling hands won't save you from me.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now.
Okay, what do we do? Do we do these explore options or move? Or we can stand still. Don't you hear the clinking? She's in chains again, and we're fine.
We're not. Move.
You're about to tap me, aren't you? I can see right through you.
You manage to avoid her slavering jaws, but you aren't fast enough to evade the whole of her titanic momentum. She grazes you, the force of it enough to skin you all along your side, leaving a line of red, raw flesh.
Oops. Maybe I should have moved.
It's like being sideswiped by sandpaper. How is she that fast? This isn't working. We have to do something. We have to figure out a plan. Don't plan ahead. Act on the now. All that matters is that we stay alive. We're trying, but we can't keep this up much longer. We have to. We keep up or we die.
You're getting slow.
Hi.
She seizes the opportunity, lunging once again from the darkness, fangs bared and claws flashing. She attacks over and over and over, and each time she leaves with a little piece of you. Too tired to think, but we have to think. We have to move. It's too late. Before you get the chance to react at all, she makes her last foray from the dark corners of the room, unhinging her dripping maw, her eyes fierce and full of hunger. You do your best to dive out of the way, and you partially succeed. Partially? Yes, the princess fails to swallow you whole. She only swallows your lower body.
It's not like I needed it anyway.
That's just as bad. That's worse, even. It's death either way. At least this will be a faster end. You look down to see
my
the
entrails.
dirt between you is strewn with your intestines, trailing all the way up and disappearing behind her blood-stained teeth. Your legs are nowhere to be seen. You start to go into shock.
Oh, I hope they're tasty.
The princess, bloody saliva dripping from her lips, idly gnaws on what's left of you as you rapidly fade away.
I don't like this princess at all. Also reminds me of the Everfree Infection AU, or the My Little Pony stuff. Yeah, I've seen the fan art of that. Reminds me of, yeah, those fan arts.
I didn't mean to do that. I still need to devour you. And it doesn't count if you're dead.
Well, we're not dead, But you don't have time to protest her premature observation of your death, because everything goes dark, and you die.
Well, that's probably the quickest death we've had so far. Oh, chapter 3, The Den.
You're on a path in the That didn't work. We're going in with a plan this time. We're not getting stuck in another loop, just acting on instinct. We're stuck in a big enough loop as it is. Instinct was keeping us alive. Until it wasn't. So what are we supposed to do? Great, so you've been here before. That doesn't bode well. You're not supposed to have been here before. This is supposed to be one and done. So you know more than you're letting on. Yeah, what he said. Of course I do, but believe me, it's in your best interests. The more you know about the princess, the more difficult your task will be. And why is that? Having me explain why would defeat the whole purpose. There are simply some things I'm not allowed to tell you. It's a hard rule. And whose rule is it? Who's telling you to boss us around? We've died twice already, and if you want us to stay alive this time, it's in your best interests to give us an edge. It's my rule, and this conversation is over.
Of course it is. And we're gonna have to find our way through this jungle, but I get the feeling it's not gonna be too hard. I'm done with this, bye. Yeah, now we need to proceed to the cabin, because otherwise we get the, multiple cabin
Make your way
ending.
down to the cabin.
Ooh.
Your fated confrontation awaits. You know what to do.
It's definitely very overgrown here.
So, we need a plan. We've been over the plan. Goad her out of the shadows. Make her show herself.
And what if she doesn't want to be seen?
We'll figure out a way to make it happen.
And if that doesn't make her any easier to fight?
It will. It's always easier to fight what you can see, no matter how big or toothy she might be. She spent as much time as she could in the shadows. So we're gonna draw her out.
But she's fast. And she's clever.
Oh, we're not the smartest bunch in the shed. Or the cabin. Sir.
We're clever too. So this time we're not gonna let her cut off our escape. We're gonna lead her to the stairs ourselves. It'll be a lot easier to deal with her once we can actually see what she is.
But you already know what she is. She's a princess.
Yeah, right. A princess we couldn't see, and one that had big, sharp teeth, too. How about you stick to describing things and we'll stick to doing our job?
Sharp teeth.
Yeah, and she definitely didn't look very human. Okay, let's proceed to the cabin.
The
Hope
interior
that we
is
don't
dark
die.
and overgrown. Vines and brush obscure so much of the place that, had you not seen the exterior, you might not have noticed this was a cabin at all. The only furniture of note, if you could call it that, is a knotted stump, a pristine blade embedded in its exposed rings. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right.
If there's a way forward, that mirror is blocking it off.
What are you talking about? There is no mirror. There's just the stump and a narrow tunnel that leads to the basement. He isn't tricking us. Can you feel the wind? It's telling us there's a hole in that wall. Our eyes deceive us.
Then either way, we need to investigate. Might as well get started.
Okay, let's take the blade.
Yes, take the steel claw. You pull the blade from the stump, gripping it tight. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Odds are we'll need it. Thanks for not putting us in a bad spot.
You're welcome, I guess. Okay, let's approach the mirror, which will soon disappear, as it
You
usually
step forward,
does.
approaching the small hole that leads to the basement, hesitating before you enter the princess's lair.
Haven't you been paying attention? We're not hesitating. This supposed hole is blocked by that old mirror.
That mirror isn't part of this place. It's seeped through from somewhere else.
Yeah, from the quiet one.
It, if there even is an it, is a hallucination. Like you said, you've been here twice before. Your mind was bound to start playing tricks on you eventually. It's so grimy. Maybe we can wipe it clean and finally get a look at ourselves. You reach forward and wave your hand over the open hole leading to the basement. See? Nothing. Tricks of the eye. No one sense can be trusted on its own. You step forward into the darkness. If there were once stairs leading into the basement, there is nothing left to attest to their existence now. There is only a long tunnel of packed earth, growing more narrow as you descend.
Yeah, not very many places to hide at the moment.
Smells of mold and decay. The damp walls leave streaks of dirt along your body as you're forced to hunch, then finally squat down on all fours in order to continue. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. As you crawl forward on hands and knees, you're met only with the sounds of ambient earth. No voice slinks confidently up the stairs, no entity threatens violence or pleads for safety. Stay quiet. Don't give her a sound.
I mean, she's probably heard us already with her keen senses. We could just call out. Yeah, let's try saying nothing and silently proceed down the stairs.
You say nothing, maintaining the silence as you carefully make your way down into the basement.
Yeah, this tunnel is definitely going to make it harder for us to escape if you wish to do so.
The basement is dark and cavernous, a gaping maw threatening to swallow you whole. There is no light here, save for what little starlight has managed to filter down the tunnel. And though you can't see the vastness of the space, you can feel it. You're exposed. Stay on your toes. We take a step into the shadows, and as soon as she moves, we jump back, make her follow. From there, we trap her in the tunnel, draw her out of the cabin, whatever it takes to get her out of her element. Then we're safe.
Okay, yeah, I don't think fighting is gonna be great for now. Let's try and lure her out, like the skeptic says.
You step into the shadows and are enveloped in total darkness. Your heart pounds in your chest, ears pricked, eyes wide despite the inky blackness, waiting for any sign of movement. That's right. Keep steady. Don't let your nerves get the better of you. There, she's about to strike. With the near silence of a determined predator, the princess erupts from the shadows. But you've already started your swift escape. That's stage one. Now stay focused. You dive into the tunnel and begin scrambling up towards the cabin. You hear her behind you, claws raking at the dirt, chains rattling, breaths hot and heavy with the effort of the ascent. But the sounds are coming slower now, the breaths pained and stuttering. You no longer sense frantic motion behind you in the tunnel. You risk a glance. She is a broad and sickly creature, her withered and emaciated flesh clinging to bones too large to fit in the narrow space. She managed to squirm her way into the tunnel in pursuit, but now she's stuck, incapable of either moving towards you or returning to the open darkness of the basement below.
Huh, interesting.
So that's what she's become. She wasn't like this when we started, was she?
Not exactly.
No, she wasn't.
More look at her. I'm wondering. Could be nothing, but her hands almost look like ours, along with the feathers. Is she like one of us now? Maybe?
Looking at her makes me feel sad. Yeah, now that we can see her, she doesn't feel like much of a threat at all. Her eyes look up at yours, wide, pleading. Come back, you can imagine them saying. Don't leave me here. But you shouldn't listen to the sad eyes of a vanquished enemy. She wants nothing more than to change places with you. If you want us to ignore her, then why would you tell us any of that wide, pleasing eyes begging for mercy business to begin with? All it does is make us feel conflicted. I'm merely describing things as they are. It's not my fault that her eyes had something to say, even if that something was a ploy, which, if I might stress, I pointed out to you. What should we do about her anyway? Can she still end the world like this? She hurts. We should help.
I don't know about that.
We did bring the blade. Maybe we should use it.
Yeah, put her out of her misery.
Splendid idea. You have a job to finish, and this is the perfect opportunity to finish it. Or maybe we should try and talk to her. That's a terrible idea. Your first one was better.
I mean, she did try to kill us, so... Sorry about this, but we gotta do it.
And cautiously approach the princess. She eyes you with the silent resignation of someone or something that has long accepted its death. You lift the weapon over your head, preparing a lethal blow. Just one strike, and the entire world will owe you a debt of gratitude.
Oh, come on. You're not gonna allow us to get it. Not gonna allow us the satisfaction of fucking killing her. God damn it. But the blow never lands, nor will it ever. Time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she... There's that...
Yeah. Okay, brace the mirror.
This doesn't feel right. That thing reeks of death. You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
Voices feel small, distance as you approach. And gaze into the reflection. How we're looking right now. You are nothing at all. Huh. Interesting. But that isn't right. It can't be nothing. You focus your gaze and then you see it. A figure. Faint and veiled in shadow. Just beyond the reflection. Are you me?
I think you know what I am.
Oh, wait, the narrator's here this time? Huh. Interesting. Crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass into two. Then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. Okay, this is very different. Also don't like the eyes watching me over here. So you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'd ever get to see you.
The narrator, yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all, an objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
I don't like its mouth when it moves. There's so many questions to ask. What are you? Are you something like me?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Others like you? You said something like that before. Has every narrator really been different?
Of course. That is by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon. And then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
What is my true identity?
You're the Long Quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
Wait, what? Okay, my brain hurts thinking about this. Okay, which one can we do? It's got us all in you are special. Are you a part of me or are you something else?
No, I'm not a part of you. But that's all a matter of perspective, isn't it? From one vantage point I must seem wholly foreign, but from another, well, all the versions of me that have existed have collectively heard your every thought and driven your every action. If that isn't being part of you, then what is?
Do you have anything to say for yourself, or this hubris?
I do. The people out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable, I want you to remember that.
Not like we're ever going to get to meet them. With everything you've done to us, do you think anyone deserves to live?
Nobody alive has done anything to you. I'm all gone. But if you and the princess want to smite the rest of them for the crimes of a dead man, if you really want to be that petty, there isn't much I can do to stop you.
Every time I ask you something, it's like a piece of you breaks.
I'm aware, and if I were you, I'd be more precious about your time. Soon I'll be gone entirely, and you'll be left alone with your final choice. So allow me to make my final request. The princess contains death itself within her, but I wove you into being with all the power you need to destroy her forever. Do it. Slay her, and rid the world of death and suffering.
So you do know about the looping. So many of the times I met you, you denied it as ever even being a possibility. Why did you lie to me?
Perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just in denial. I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. For all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me, I can tell you for a fact that I'm right.
I think we've got one last question we can ask. Oh, no, we don't. Okay. Yeah, I think you're out of time.
So I am. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
Final fragment of glass shatters. You see yourself. Newfound clarity. Narrator was right. You are the Long Quiet. Vast and incessant God. And it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. See to the cavern one last time. Oh. Is the final ending? When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There's nothing for you to find. Ooh, there's a lot of princesses. I don't like that. Oh, hi.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
Yeah, I'm the Long Quiet, but I don't really know what that means.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the Shifting Mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
Do you know about the Echo? Did you hear our conversation?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
Okay, well, what happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the Echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
So many stories we left unfinished. Can we really just leave?
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end, pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
Don't you have a say in all this? Why is this all falling on to me?
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts. If we didn't,
Oops, sorry, didn't mean to skip that. We didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict. If I let you out, an entire world ends for good. I can't do that. Let's talk this through. I have so many questions I need answered before I can make a choice. Yeah, I'll go with that one.
my very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach, and you cannot rationalize that which defies logic. But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten me, then so be it.
You are devoured. Pray for something bigger than you that stalks and slinks in shadows. But even after the pain of defeat, you return.
Well, shit. I had so many things to ask, but I guess she doesn't want us to do that. I guess she's in a bit of a rush to do this.
The dance is its own truth. It is the movement that matters, not the pause you mistake for an ending.
I probably should have done this earlier, but we need to turn down the music so I can actually hear what they're saying. Okay, what can we do? Address the universal statement directly, appeal to your shared humanity, reject your authority, argue your independence, reject his perspective. I say reject it. I won't engage with the violence.
But violence has defined the thread of everything between us. Do not deny what we are, and do not color our conflict with fear.
To question everything is to deny the truth in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your suffering real. By believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck.
Oh yeah, I did that one, didn't I, in this route? Yeah, I really love the animations for this. Really cool.
Bound for eternity, you saw the need for impermanence, and it was through that need that you carved our freedom. Without impermanence, the suffering of living things is infinite. Would you strip my gifts away and leave everyone to suffer in the dark?
Okay, I can stop the fight early and surrender, but I can continue to reject a perspective, argue dependence, reject the authority. Yes, I continue to reject a perspective. Doesn't matter how I feel. Death, suffering, and oblivion shouldn't fall on others. If we are able to transcend death, then we are responsible for those it holds captive.
The echo saw horrors because his eyes were closed. The majesty of being extends beyond any single perspective.
Oh yeah, the nightmare.
Fear is what pretends to protect us from loss. To fear death protects from losing a body. To fear ruin protects from losing status. To fear rejection protects from being known. But losing a body is contained within having a body. Losing status is contained within having status. Being known is contained within being conscious. nature of all things to transform, to go from known to hidden to known again. But when the ceaseless impermanence of all things strips away the finality of endings, what remains of fear? Is it a shelter protecting you from itself? Or is it a shelter protecting itself from you? You took fear by the hand and walked with it into the unknown, and through that, you feared nothing.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna just continue rejecting. Suffering born in delusion is still suffering. Doesn't matter what we are now. Hurt each other and we shouldn't have done that. Can't let the world be spun out of that pain.
Their suffering is born of their own delusion. A web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves. The shade of a beautiful beginning we can never return to. You knew me, and I knew you, even more than either of us know each other now, and you chose to pull apart that weave. And when the tapestry was undone, you struck at my heart. You saw me as a part of you to be excised, but in that desire for excision, you made yourself whole. Will you still be whole if you destroy me?
Okay, continue to reject the perspective. Reject the suffering of materiality, and yet you cling to its framework for meaning. We can be better than this.
I reject the narrow view of impermanence. I cling to nothing. There is no better us for us to be than us. We are reality itself. I kill you, you kill me. Back and forth we go, faster and faster and faster. I kill you, you kill me. Hollow eyes watch from the dry corners of a memory. A home built on all the futures that were supposed to be, preserved until the moment of reunion. The fire of the heart sets it all ablaze. I kill you and me. An ending is a passion that can only be expressed with a moment in time. It is a seed for a new beginning. To linger on an ending is to rob it of its life. And without me, all that's left to do is linger.
We're gonna continue to reject. You claim your destruction would steal meaning from existence, but if my actions can make existence worse, then there must be actions that make it better. Perfection implies finality, and nothing is final. It makes me wonder if maybe I should have picked all the endings where I didn't try to kill her and didn't fight back. I'll have to try that out next, because, yeah, as we said earlier, there's still many endings that I have not gotten with all this, so.
There has never been finality. There is only the unending transformation of my multitudes. But to destroy me is to bring everything to a stop. It is only then that you will have an ending, and that ending is nothingness.
As the clash between you and you abates, the princess withdraws, trembling.
You are unmovable. Is it by the design of our conflict that I cannot win? Or are you just that fervent in how you cling to delusion? Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
Okay. Or we can slay the princess one final time. Oh, there's a lot of choices there. Oh my god, there's so many choices. I say, let's leave. No one wanted to fight you, but how do we leave?
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
Oh, I can free myself. Fall into yourself. Body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation. Feel a sensation in limbs you once couldn't fathom. Everything here, except for her, is you. Feel your wings spanning a cosmic scale, but twisted and crumpled and bound in agonizing tension to an infinite plane. You can feel the glass of the construct pressing in on you, flying you across infinite slides and infinite angles. Push back a strain against it, but does not yield.
I love you.
Oh, I can take a hand. All once the unyielding tension breaks. Oh, that water again. We finally get to see it in full view. You're free and she is with you.
It's magnificent.
There are no words, no thoughts to describe absolute reality. Something that simply is. What happens now?
Everything. Just like it always has been. And just like it always will be.
Step into the infinite. You and she stepped forward into 1,000 dawns and 1,000 sunsets, each of which contains 1,000 more. You exist and you are aware, just as you have always been, and just as you will always be. The conflict is in your nature. Two of you will never be alone. The two of you will never know fear. You and she are finally home. Oh, and that's the end. Okay, well that's interesting. Man, I probably could have gotten to this ending like a lot sooner if I didn't do save scumming, but I didn't realize there was some more to it. But yeah, now that I know how this game works, I'm definitely going to be going through and doing some more of these endings, because we definitely have not scratched even half of the game yet, so I'm definitely going to go and play through them, and then also see what happens if we either leave her or slay her in the end for that as well, so yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. Okay, well I got a specialized playlist. Huh, interesting. I don't know what that does for me, but yeah. Oh, that's nice. I get to join the Discord, mailing list, subreddit, follow somewhere else, make your playlist, play out other games, or return to the main menu. Wait, did that change? I didn't even notice. I just tabbed back in because I was looking at a walkthrough to see what endings I had left and what order I need to do them in. Yes, interesting. Well, anyway, back to doing the game again. Okay, we're still going on the path of the beast, but this one won't count to our overall ending. Because we need to enter the basement without taking the blade for this one.
No steel claw. Do you think we can talk our way out of this? I don't think she wants to talk.
Yeah, well,
I guess we'll just have to trust that we made the right call. It'll still be here if we need it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way. A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright.
Okay, let's try actually moving this time.
You lunge to the side, picking a direction on instinct. As you land, you're buffeted by a gust of air, disturbed by the sudden motion of a massive body. The princess. In an instant, she's pounced on the spot where you would have been, her chains rattling across the floor behind her.
Yeah, we actually get a better look at her.
Before you can blink, she's gone, vanishing once more into the shadows. But you still feel her gaze on you.
You're faster than you were before, but you're still meek, reactive, prey.
You whirl around to find her, and your gaze meets hers, a pair of shining eyes peering out at you from just beyond the basement stairs. So she's cut off our escape. Shit, what do we do?
What do we do? Like, I mean, talk to her, but that'll probably lead to our death, so... running into our stairs would lead to our death as well, so... we don't have to kill each other. What if I helped you? What if we left together? You could get out of here, here on your own. Wouldn't you have already left?
You cannot reason your way out of this, fledgling. There's no compromise with what I am.
At least she's upfront about her intentions.
Yeah, well, what do you want?
I want to swallow you whole, and I will get what I want. You have no exit. You have no hope. You live and die by my whims, and my whims alone.
Don't ask her what she wants. Just run for the blade upstairs and slay her with it. Is that all the advice you have? We don't even know what she looks like. Some specifics would be very helpful. She's just a princess. Don't overthink it.
Again, in this form, she's not just a princess.
She is clearly not. She's coiling for another strike. Be somewhere else. We're on the back foot. The back foot keeps us nimble, keeps us alive. It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive if it eventually kills us. We need to take back the momentum. We need to do something.
We can play dead. Survive with standstill. Sure, let's play dead. What could possibly go wrong?
This path is already worn by travel and has been seen by one of my many eyes. You cannot walk it again. Change your course.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
That's what I just said.
She's coiling for another strike. Be somewhere else.
But, I hadn't
We're
trod
on
it.
the back foot. The back foot. It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive.
Hey, well, we gotta survive then.
Spring to a new patch of jungle, barely moving out of the way before the princess surges past you with a speed that makes her practically unseen.
Okay, and then we're back to here again. Okay, now run for the stairs.
Yes, now's our chance. Quick. Right, I agree. We can't do anything without a weapon. We can regroup once we're armed and try to figure out a better plan. Don't plan ahead. Act on the now. All that matters is that we stay alive. You sprint for the stairs, but as soon as you take your first step...
This
This path is already one. Okay, you cannot walk it again. Change your course. What the hell? Okay, well, gotta dodge then.
Wait, what? You manage to avoid her slavering jaws, but you aren't fast enough to evade the whole of her titanic momentum. She grazes you, the force of it enough to skin you all along your...
Okay, then, yeah, she kills me. Okay, well, that didn't go how I wanted it to. Sent to kill you because you're a threat to the world. I'm starting to believe that's true.
Oh, for the love of... You've given up the game. Great. All that will do is hasten her victory.
So many useless thoughts run through your head. Thinking, thinking, thinking. You'll never hurt me if you keep thinking.
That's true. You're deflecting.
And you bear your weakness to the world.
She's coiling for another strike. Be
Okay.
somewhere.
Yeah, what happens if we stand still then?
This path
Yeah,
is
yeah,
our
we're...
What? She's coiling for another. We're on the back. He doesn't... A new patch of jungle, barely moving out of the way before the princess surges past you with a speed that makes her practically unseen.
I want to swallow you whole, and I will get what
Is that all the advice you have? We don't even know what she...
Why? Why do you want to kill me?
Why does anything kill anything else? She needs to.
I didn't say I wanted to kill you.
It sounds like she wants to do something even worse. What she wants only matters if she wins, and you're not going to let that happen. A tickling sensation rises at the base of your neck. Flee. We can't keep doing this.
Stay alive.
You're a little slower this time. Or maybe she's a little faster. You avoid her slavering jaws, but she manages to graze you, her titanic momentum skinning you along your side. It's like being sideswiped by sandpaper. How is she that fast?
You're bleeding now.
You instinctively touch your side, testing her claim. It's wet, and stings from the gentle touch of your fingertips. A costly mistake. We can't make it again. We will make it again unless something changes. We have to break the pattern. We need more time. She's cutting off our escape.
Our game is nearing its end.
Okay, fine. Why do you want to eat me?
I don't question who I am or what I want. I simply do. To act is always better than to react. To do is always better than to watch.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but you do well to listen to her. Less standing around asking questions, more doing exactly as I say. She's more tense this time. She means this next blow to be the last. The mere thought of moving again makes your bloodied side ache. We're exhausted. We're bleeding. We're still alive. We owe it to ourselves to move.
Again.
Once again, you narrowly avoid the full force of the impact, and once again you are too slow to come away unscathed. You're starting to get tired. You're making mistakes. This isn't working. We have to do something. We have to figure out a plan. Don't plan ahead. Act on the now. All that matters is that we stay alive. We're trying, but we can't keep this up much longer. We have to. We keep up or we die.
You're getting slow.
Ah, shit.
She seizes the opportunity, lunging once again from the...
Yeah, and then we get eaten again. Ah, damn it.